today with you as soon as I finish, maybe setting the stage for our comments, including with the help of some really expert and knowledgeable people who are here today. For Senator Obama, the solution to every problem and the answer to every challenge is a tax. And he's convinced that the 1970s-style windfall profits tax is just what America needs in the 21st century. But it's pretty clear to most of us that when it comes to energy, what we really need is to produce more, use less, and find new sources of power. The next president must be willing to break with the energy policies not just of the current administration, but the administrations that preceded it, and lead a great national campaign to achieve energy security for America. In the short term, this requires more domestic production, especially in the outer continental shelf. We need to encourage production in ways that are consistent with sensible standards of environmental protection. And in states that permit exploration, there must be a sharing of benefits between state and federal government. But as a matter of fairness to the American people, we must assure affordable fuel for America by increasing domestic production. When I announced this policy the other day, Senator Obama wasted no time in mischaracterizing it. He described my position as, you guessed it, another example of Bush's third term. I guess the senator has changed his position since voting for the 2005 Bush energy bill, a grab bag of corporate handouts that I opposed. In the big picture, of course, more domestic production of oil is only part of the solution. We need a fresh start to meet America's growing electricity needs. And if we're looking for a vast supply of reliable and low-cost electricity with zero carbon emissions and long-term price stability, that's the working definition of nuclear energy. One obstacle to expanding our nuclear-powered electricity is the mindset of those who prefer to buy time and hope that our energy problems will somehow solve themselves. It has a lot more to do with the politics of matter than with the merits. And you can observe this approach even in the case of the senator from the state with more nuclear power plants than any other. I'm a proponent of this clean, safe, and efficient source of energy. Right now we have 104 nuclear reactors in our country, generating about 20% of our electricity. Every year, these reactors alone spare the atmosphere from the equivalent of nearly all auto emissions in America. Yet for all these benefits, we have not broken ground on a single nuclear plant in over 30 years. And our manufacturing base to even construct these plants is almost gone. China, Russia, and India are all planning to build more than 100 new power plants, among them in the coming decades. Across Europe, there are 197 reactors in operation. Nations including France and Belgium derive more than half their electricity from nuclear power. And in all these nations, if they can find a way to carry out great goals in energy policy, then I assure you, I am confident that the United States is more than equal to the challenge. So if I'm elected president, I will set this nation on a course to building 45 new reactors by the year 2030, with the ultimate goal of 100 new plants to power the homes and factories and cities of America. This task will be as difficult as it is necessary. We will need to recover all the knowledge and skills that have been lost over 3 stagnant decades in a highly technical field. We'll need to solve some complex problems of moving and storing materials. We'll always need safeguarding. We'll need to do all of these things and do them right, as we have done great things before. At the same time, we must invest more in the great task of acquiring clean coal technology. Coal is a strategic national resource and today provides most of our nation's electricity, and about 85% here in Missouri. Burning coal cleanly is a challenge of practical problem solving and human ingenuity, and we have no shortage of those in this country. Perhaps no advancement in energy technology could mean more to America than the clean burning of coal and the capture and storage of carbon emissions. And to this end, as President, I will commit $2 billion each year on clean coal research and development. We will build the demonstration plants, refine the techniques and equipment, and make clean coal a reality. This single achievement will open vast amounts of our oldest and most abundant resource, and it will deliver not only electricity, but jobs in some of the areas hardest hit by our economic troubles. The good that clean coal can do extends around the world and into its skies. Once we supply the means of clean burning coal and carbon capture, nations everywhere will pursue the same end: abundant energy with low carbon emissions. China in particular has enormous coal reserves that could power its continued economic growth cleanly and efficiently. By mastering the technology, America will lead the way. In the progress of other alternative energy sources such as wind, solar, geothermal, tide, and hydroelectric, government must be an ally, but not an arbiter. In less than a generation, wind power alone could account for 1/5 or more of all of our electricity. And just in recent memory, solar energy has gone from a novelty to a fast-growing industry. I voted against the current patchwork of tax credits for renewable power because they were temporary and often the result of who had the best lobbyists instead of who had the best ideas. But the objective itself was right and urgent. And when I'm signing laws, instead of casting one of 100 votes, I intend to see that objective better served. We will reform this effort so it is fair, rational, and permanent, letting the market decide which ideas can move us towards clean and renewable energy. We Americans like to say that there's no problem we can't solve, however complicated. No obstacle we cannot overcome if we meet it together. I believe this about our country. I know this about our country. Now it's time to show those qualities once again. I thank you all for your kind attention, and now let me